when Cam Newton came into the league, he was unlike anything that the league has really ever seen before. From a physical specimen, his athletic ability, it was just totally unique. And what the Carolina Panthers did long ago is they brought that Auburn offense that won him a national championship into the NFL. And it was something that we hadn't really seen in the National Football League, and it's worked for quite a while. But with everything, a lot of people talk about these running quarterbacks, these athletic quarterbacks, and Cam Newton falls into that mode. How long is their shelf life? When their shelf life gets towards the end, and then you have to rely strictly on actually being a quarterback, playing from within the pocket. Can you sustain that? Can that take you to the next level of your career? And I think when you look at Cam Newton, as far as his statistics are concerned, that's not sustainable because that's not part of his game. Cam Newton, over the last 8 games, is winless over the last 8 games. Cam Newton also has over $19 million in cap space, okay? We've seen what the Carolina Panthers have been able to do with Kyle Allen. Now, I'm not sitting here anointing Kyle Allen to Canton and putting a gold jacket on him. But what I am saying is you're talking about a quarterback that's 5-1. Christian McCaffrey is right there in the lead as far as MVP conversation. If you really want to take your organization and move it forward, you mean to tell me that the money that you could save from cap purposes, that you couldn't allocate that to the rest of your roster and really bolster your roster and make your overall team better? That's why I'm in favor of that's why I think the Carolina Panthers, after the season, will move on from Cam Newton.
So Cam Newton is the Carolina Panthers. He has been. He's the star that anyone associates with.
It's not a legacy thing.
No, that's fine.
It's not a legacy.
I'm fine.
I mean, that's where you're coming from.
I'm fine with that. We can put that aside. I'll throw that aside. The idea that Cam Newton is not a passer, I understand you saying that that's not strictly where his ability came from, but those stats that we fell in love with as a rookie was largely because he was throwing the ball to his team, scoring touchdowns that way, moving the ball through the air, and also being to add to it his ability to run. And the idea that that is way behind him, that you have to go back to his MVP year, you have to go all the way back to his rookie year to see that, is just false. Like, you can go back to, at this point last year, they were 6-2, he had 19 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. From then on, the injuries took hold and things got worse. But the idea that Cam Newton can't get back to that is absurd. And you brought up the stat yourself that he has cost $19 million against the cap next year. I guess I could imagine some good things that you can do with $19 million. But you know what's better way to spend $19 million? The average salary the average cap value for a quarterback in the league right now is $23 million. You have to pay Cam Newton $19 million, and he could potentially play as well as he did last season when he was in MVP conversation. That is a value. You don't get rid of value like that in the league if you want to win. For who?
Domonique,
for Kyle Allen?
Hold on, Domonique.
No.
You want me to tell you also about Kyle Allen is 5-1. And
Stop that.
Domonique, listen. You know good as well that as I do, in this league, it's about what have you done for me lately type of league. And what we know right now, in Cam Newton's last 8 games, he is 0 for 8.
Okay,
0 for 8 in his last game, Domonique.
Anybody.
Okay, so what I am saying is, if you want to build an organization that's sustainable for the long term, you mean to tell me right now that $19 million, that's a lot of money that you can spread out to multiple players to bolster your roster. You don't think that's not smart? That's not smart advice for the Carolina Panthers to move forward?
No, you got one more year. It would be smart advice if you stumbled into Tom Brady or you stumbled into a franchise-changing quarterback. That's not what you stumbled into.
Cam Newton's not the athlete.
Listen.
Cam Newton's not the athlete that he was a few years ago.
He's better than Kyle Allen. Cam Newton at 70% is better than Kyle. So listen. I said it because I have sense. So
are you saying Kyle Allen is better than Cam Newton?
I'm going to throw my computer. I will break everything in the studio. Don't fix your lips.
Hold on. Here's what I'm going to do.
Don't fix your lips.
Here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say, wait a minute, hold on. I'm going to tell you right now.
I will write an email to Jimmy Pitaro and have your contract torn up.
I'm going to tell you right now.
Careful with this computer, man.
He's trying to say Kyle Allen.
No,
better than
here's
Cam
what I'm
Newton.
going to tell you right
Kyle
now.
Allen better
Kyle, I guarantee you, defenses are more scared of Kyle Allen passing from within the pocket than Cam Newton is right now.
Get him out of here, Russ.
No,
So,
it's the real deal.
Okay,
it is the truth.
Let me dig into some of the numbers.
Cam Newton from his MVP years.
I'm thinking about this time last year when he had 19 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. They were 6-2. But anyway, let me dig into something. You keep doing this win-loss number like that's a real quarterback stat. They are not starting pitchers. You know why Kyle Allen has so many wins? Because that defense was balling. You know what happened when that defense stopped balling against San Francisco and they put the weight on Kyle Allen's back? They stunk. Kyle Allen has done.
This is first year starting. What I am saying here is that with the resources that you could get from trading Cam Newton, you could make the team around Kyle Allen a lot better. You really think that Cam Newton, as constituted as he is right now, with the foot injuries and all the hits that Cam Newton has taken, you really think that he's the type of guy that can still have the Carolina Panthers moving forward into the future to be a contending team?
I'm not saying long term. I'm just saying next year they have Cam Newton at $19 million when the league average is 23. And you're going to move on to.
That's right.
Kyle.
That's right.
My question is this.
Man, I'm so glad you don't run a franchise.
Whether they trade him.
I think I'd do pretty well if I ran one.
Whether they decide to trade him or whether they decide to keep him, whatever that is, do you see Cam Newton's future as a backup or as a starting franchise QB?
No, he'll get another chance.
Okay.
Listen, there's teams out there. I'm just saying for what the Carolina Panthers are doing right now, and Nick knows this. I always talk about all the time. Wally Pipp, we talk about all the time. When people start playing well, guess what? You end up losing your job. I saw it firsthand. I saw it firsthand in New England with Drew Bledsoe, who had signed a $100 million deal. In comes Tom Brady, boom, starting job gone, trade away to the Buffalo Bills.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.